Hello there. I've just been doing some research for my noir game, and I've been buying supplies. No, I've been looking through my bags of props and buying books and things. So, the Australian Book of True Crime. Now, it's interesting reading true crime stories. They're more horrifying because you're like, well, that really happened. And they don't actually have to be as demented as a storyline to be more demented. Storylines get all twisty and turny. These are sort of more just like, Jesus, horrific. A bit disturbing. Wasn't sure whether to buy that. But I haven't really read a lot of crime. So I thought, I'll read some real crime, and I was considering setting the game in Melbourne. True crime is kind of fascinating because it's so, like, shocking. As long as it's distanced from you, it's somehow fascinating, somehow sort of, I guess, puts your life in a context that it's exciting. You're exploring this dark side of human nature, but sort of at arm's length. But the truth of it is somehow makes it more sort of visceral. Let's have a look at what else we've got coming up. Alright, we've got some magazines here. Bought these down at Lost and Found second-hand shop, and the lady said, I'm glad you bought those because I've been feeling a bit weird about having them in the store. I'm a big Twin Peaks fan, and even this picture here is very Laura Palmer, washed up by the beach, wrapped in plastic. Okay, and then, so I want to read them, a bit more of the same. Here's some real life stories. Amazing detective cases. Guy bashing woman with paddle. Infamous cases in crime. And the one she probably really wanted to get out of the store, sex crime files. I have to read some of them. I'm interested in a story that sort of feels like Seven, or one of these movies that's, you know it's not real, it's a bit twisty-turny, it's sort of exciting. But I think those stories are good when they do sort of feel like they could have happened, they could be real. This is my research project. I'm presenting this paper, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, one of the first films I made was a film noir, so I've got lots of little props around that I used for that, but I never finished it, because it was my first film and it wasn't that good. One day I'll finish it. Kill City Books, down in Melbourne CBD on Swanston Street, and it's full of crime books and some other books, but mainly crime books, that's its thing. And this has got 14 stories, and I just opened it up, and every page, every paragraph I looked at was like, cool, I feel like reading that. Find some of the older stories, they're sort of slow. You look at it and you're like, okay, it's obviously drifting along, it sort of takes a little while to get anywhere. I didn't think they would be so useful for me because I need my story to work in just little snippets, gameplay, so it needs to kind of be fast, densely packed action. Sin City. I was considering a graphic novel kind of approach to the storytelling, and Sin City is one of the only graphic novels I've read, and I thought it was very good because it's fun, it moves along quite fast. Frank Miller is very good at telling story quite economically and sort of packing in, each speech bubble is necessary and eloquent and punchy, so I thought that's good reference for me. So I read the first one again, and I'm going to read this one again at some point. Moving on, Spy Gun. A novel by Mark Frost, co-creator of Twin Peaks, a story created telling about Arthur Conan Doyle, author of Sherlock Holmes, before he wrote the books. All sorts of characters and elements from this story are conceited to then have inspired him to create Sherlock Holmes. It's meant to be very good. Mark Frost is a wizard, and I would kind of like to ask Mark Frost if he would like to write the story for my game. I think he would be very good at that, and he did, in an interview in 2008 with him by Google, he confessed quite happily that he plays World of Warcraft, and he's very interested in where interactive storytelling is going, and stories that have the reader, the player, at the centre of the story. So I think he might, potentially, he would be interested, or I could write the first one and then he could, I don't know, I sort of want my game to be a mini-series that has an end in sight when I release the first one, but for it to be episodic, so people kind of get to the bit and then go, ooh, what happens next? Hey, have you seen episode 2 yet? Have you seen episode 2? A Study in Scarlet. Found this, $6, Sherlock Holmes, the first novel. Bargain. Also, Murder on the Riviera Express. This is a little mystery puzzle book. You are the detective. I thought that sounds fun. $7 at Kill City. Basically, it outlines the facts of the case. There's interviews with all the characters as interviewed by the detective. Little bio information about them that you've discovered. Things such as, you know, bloody rag was found in the bin in their carriage. Stuff like this. And you have to solve the crime. I assume the solution is in the back. And that seemed interesting in terms of researching story in the sort of murder mystery style and textual game. And also I love The Last Express by Jordan Mechner, which sort of fits in the middle there somewhere. So next up we might have a look at some of the records that I've got for research. Come with me and we'll have a look now.